Good afternoon. I am making white chicken enchiladas for lunch today. My mom is over for lunch, so I figured this is quick, easy, and delicious. I'm going to mix 2 cups of shredded chicken with 1 cup of shredded cheese. You can use any cheese that you prefer. Just going to mix that up, and I'm going to roll them into the tortillas and put them in I'm going to spray the pan with a glass baking dish down. Once that's all done, I am going to start melting 3 tablespoons of butter with 3 tablespoons of flour. You want equal parts, and you want it to look like a sandy consistency because we're going to make a roux for the white sauce. Okay, so you're just going to take some of the filling. You don't want to overfill them of the cheese and the chicken mixture. So we're just going to roll these. You don't have to worry about folding in the sides or anything like that. So once you have it rolled, we're going to put it into the pan, seam side down. So once this is all filled up, we're going to start working on our base for that. So I'm going to continue to do this. I have all of these rolled up. I don't ever say how many tortillas you really need, because you never know. If you have extra chicken, throw it in there. It's not going to make a world of difference. So I just turned on the burner to melt the 3 tablespoons of butter. I have the flour ready, and then I have the stock. As you can see here, this is my own personal canned stock that I make myself. It's just easier. I always have it on hand, plus I don't have to pay for it, and I reuse stuff like broccoli ends or like cabbage leaves, potato skin, stuff like that. Chicken bones. That's how I make my stock. So I'm going to get this melted. I'm going to add the 3 tablespoons of flour in there, whisk it together so you can cook the flour taste out a little bit, and then we'll add the stock and let it simmer until thickened, and then we'll remove it off the heat. Add the 1 cup of sour cream, and let me tell you, this little measuring cup is a lifesaver because you don't have to scrape anything out of them. And then we're going to add in the little can of diced green chilies. Pour all over this, top it with a little bit of cheese, and put it in a 425-degree oven. So the butter has melted, so I'm going to add the 3 tablespoons of flour. Just going to whisk this until well combined. And it's going to look like a wet sand consistency is what you want. And this is just to help thicken up the sauce that we're going to pour over the top of the chicken enchiladas. You also want to cook out the flour taste because you really don't want to eat something that tastes like raw flour, do you? Okay, so this is bubbling away. You kind of want it to have like a golden brown consistency before you do anything. I'm actually going to add a little more flour because it doesn't seem to be the consistency I need. So just always remember, a recipe is just a guide. You don't have to follow it to a T. It's starting to look a little better. And let that cook out just a little longer. Turning a nice golden brown color so the flour is being cooked out. So I'm going to add my 2 cups of stock in there. So we're going to whisk this so all the lumps are out of it. This is going to take a little bit for it to heat through. Just a few minutes, and then we're going to cook it down until thickened. Alright, so this is getting pretty thick. So this is going to cook just probably just a couple minutes longer. So with this, I just wanted to share a little trick as well. When you're spraying a baking dish or anything like that, always do it over the sink, because let me tell you, you don't want to step on a slippery kitchen floor. Alright, so this is nice and thickened and bubbled. So we're going to shut the heat off, and I'm actually going to put it on the back burner. So I'm going to add a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt. You always want to make sure that you're seasoning as you go. Don't mind my loaf of bread there, I'm drying it out so I can make breadcrumbs. So I'm going to whisk that in. And now I'm going to add the sour cream. So as I said before, this little contraption is perfect because you don't have to scrape anything out. Literally pushes it all out. The only thing you scrape is just the top. So whisk that in gently because you don't want to make a mess. Just come off that. We're going to add the whole can of little diced green chilies. Just want to show you what it looks like. It looks like a dish. So now we are going to pour this over the enchiladas that are in the pan. Make sure it's spread all over the tortillas so it doesn't dry out. Alright. So I'm going to spread the cheese over. I just use taco cheese or Mexican style cheese. Doesn't matter what kind of cheese you use. And we're going to go into a 425-degree oven. All right, so we're gonna take the enchiladas out of the oven. I only cooked it through for about 10-15 minutes through the boiler on high for a couple minutes with the door closed. We put in the crust on the cheese. So that is bubbling away. You just want to let it sit for a couple minutes so you'll be able to scoop it out onto the plates. All right, so I'm going to serve this up. I'm going to take 2 of the enchiladas. Transfer it over. Put a little sauce on it. And I'm going to bring you over so you can see what it looks like. So this is 2 enchiladas together. I scooped them out, poured a little sauce over them, and they are ready to eat.